Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy and excited to be here today. As you can see, we have our guest, Ryan, who is a frequent guest on this channel, and that's because he has a lot of experience with training, as you guys can tell from his physique. He's an avid trainer. He is relentless when it comes to trying to constantly build and do his thing. And he also has a lot of experience with machines. We've been asked on this channel many times to talk about a couple of different machines, whether it's the Speediance Gym Monster, whether it's, I don't know, back in the day we were talking about Handy Gym, whether it's the Tonal. Uh, Ryan has tons of different experience with lots of different things. Tonight we're going to get his thoughts on the Vitruvian, which he has previously owned, and we're going to be comparing that to a couple of other devices and get his thoughts. Ryan, thank you so much for being here today, man.
Oh, of course, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm just so grateful that we have people like you who just genuinely want to help others try to make good decisions with their money.
Yeah, man, for sure. I love like I was telling you earlier, it brings a joy to my heart to actually, be able to help people make the best decision for them, especially financially and just the overall product. So, yeah, man, for sure.
You are the man, bro. You are the man. Like I said to you in that chat, Ryan is like one in a million, guys. He really is because he's not getting paid for this. He's spending his time after a long day at work to help you guys. So that's basically it. But to to essentially your input is going to be super valuable today, bro, because I showed you that comment in a text where we had a subscriber ask what happened to Ryan and why did he stop using Vitruvian essentially because he remembers an interview that we did with you when you were saying, "Yeah, Vitruvian is great. I love it," which I'm sure it was, but you
Yeah.
left it for a reason and you switched over to the gym monster. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that whole thing, no matter how you want to describe it to us. I'm very interested myself.
Yeah. Well, it started with I remember there was a little bit of fraying going on with the I think it was either the left or right side rope, and it seemed like it was getting worse and worse. And just, I'm lugging this thing around, it's 80 pounds, carrying it back and forth in the living room. So it's like, it kind of got to a point where I'm like, this thing's kind of a pain in the butt to carry just back and forth into the living room. It's just, 80 pounds isn't light. You know what I mean? Not that it's that big of a deal, but at the same time, it's like, what is the point of having to lug this around like something so heavy when I can get something lighter? So that's
Right.
when I eventually saw originally the Speediance Gym Pal that caught my eye, saw that was coming out in the near future. And I thought it was really interesting because, it had such a small footprint, it had a pretty nice adjustable bench, and and just it just caught my eye, man, on top. And it's not just the carrying it around the Vitruvian. It's also in this day and age when you got a smart gym, it's very safe when you start at your strongest point. You shouldn't Vitruvian, yes, they the way it works with Vitruvian is they gradually increase the weight after you do three calibration reps, and after that, a third. If you just like pause for a minute or like just like hesitate or whatever, that weight can start from your weakest point, and that's not good. That can cause injury. And that's I got as you know, Joe, I got tennis elbow.
Hmm.
So I truly think that's where it came from. So, it just I just thought that was a concern, and just you should really have, like I said, the it has the Bluetooth thing. So where you can power on and off the weight at your safest point,
Right.
and the fact that, Speediance allows you to increase the weight makes it so much easier. And this is kind of a little gripe, but the Vitruvian's bar didn't have knurling. I like being able to like measure out my hand like on the knurling to know I'm fully even because I don't like being uneven because then
Yeah.
so I just think that's a problem. And I had the one thing with the Vitruvian also, I had a really loud whining noise. As you know, I'm sure you've heard about that before, but And that was just it was just really annoying. And then the just lift mode on it cost money, which boggles my mind. Just lift was basically the free mode. And I feel as though you really shouldn't have to pay for free mode. What that's just basic weight you're, carrying up. And then like it was just so much attached to that subscription, Joe. It's just like, why? You know what I
Right.
mean? So, and just I can understand the programs to a sense, but just I mean, free mode? Like, come on. To me, that's just ridiculous. And that's why I got drawn to Speediance because as you said in one of your videos, Joe, that we are being freed by China. And we truly have been because I've been on this machine, I've been on free mode, I've explored programs, but back to the story of how that whole thing went, I I sold Vitruvian.
Okay.
And then I was waiting on the I got the gym pal. And it eventually came. Now that I know Speediance had a whole issue with, the packaging issue in the beginning, but that seemed to be fixed. But then I just said to myself, I got my gym pal came. It was damaged, because of the packaging with that whole issue. So I thought about it and I said to myself, how much space could this Speediance Gym Monster that I also saw on the site could have possibly take? So I'm looking at it, I'm like, this thing doesn't even take that much room. Not only that, Joe, I don't have to take it in and out of my room. It can stay in one spot. And even if I wanted to, I have that option. Guess what? I'm not bending down to grab it. It's standing upright, so I can just wheel it out here. You know what I mean? So it's just so much easier and just gives you so much freedom. And like I said before, Joe, when you third party, I have third party accessories I can actually use with it. You can do that with Vitruvian as well. You can actually use whatever attachment you want thanks to the rings they give you.
Right.
And they don't just tie it down to their products. And that is a big deal to me because guess what? We can use whatever we want. And I found that to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
That's huge. That's huge. So with Vitruvian, just so I understand correctly, they didn't give you the option to use third-party products at all.
nope, not at all.
That is insane, man. It's 2024. You'd think that companies would get that people don't want to be tied down like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man, because it's like you want to be able to say there's certain things you don't want to use of theirs. Like say I wanted to use, say that bar with the Neuralink. You can, find things on websites that or on like Amazon and you can order stuff and that all you need is that little ring. And with a carabiner it clips right onto it. It just makes it so much easier because like you said, China is freeing us like our from ourselves. Like it truly is fantastic to be able to have that option.
Yeah, that's really sad to me that a company would be so desperate to keep even the accessories only proprietary to them. Not only that, but the another interesting thing, you dropped a whole bunch of knowledge for these people. If you guys were wondering why you shouldn't buy Vitruvian, he just gave you everything. And like it was a dump truck of stuff that you just offloaded. So I'm trying to unpack that right now in my brain. And one of the real big things that stood out to me where you said they charged you for free mode. So, like Ryan mentioned, guys, in case you're not familiar, most of these companies they come with two different options. You could do a free mode or whatever Vitruvian called it, but essentially it's free mode where you can hop in there. There's no programs, no nothing, and you can just kind of be free. You can do whatever you want. You lift what you want to lift. You don't have to be under any specific movement. You just move the machine the way you want it and you do what you want to do. That's my favorite mode because when you're in the other end of the spectrum, you're dealing with the company's programs. So you're in a mode, you're in a program, you're watching a trainer do their thing. If you have a screen or on an app, um, and you're basically tied down to kind of what they want to allow you to do at that point. But one thing that kind of stands true for most machines is the free mode, where there's no program. The company didn't write a program. They allow you to have that for free, and typically you're paying for the programs because that's what the company is basically giving you. But with
Mm.
Vitruvian, as Ryan just mentioned, you had to pay for the free thing. The thing that's supposed to be free, you're paying for, which is weird. And that makes me wonder, how good are their actual programs? How good are their trainers? Because if the free part, if the part they didn't have to work for was free, their
Mm.
trainers and their programs must suck so much that people aren't using them and only using the free mode. And the only way they can make money is by charging people for the free mode. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all. Like I
Okay.
truly don't. Like this, like, and I'll be honest, free mode is so complicated to use
Okay.
on the Vitruvian. It's like I couldn't even figure it out. Like I don't understand it. Like they don't simplify it at all. It's like not only are you charging us, but you don't even have it simplify where it's easy and customer friendly. Like I don't like it's weird.
Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't understand. If anything, they should be charging you for their programs, and it just doesn't make sense. Their programs have to be garbage if they're charging you for the thing that's supposed to be free. Um, and another thing that's huge, and I remember you talking to me about this, is the fact that you can't start the weight at a safe point. You're kind of reliant on the machine to start when it wants to start the weight. With other machines, Tonal, Speediance, whether it's the Gym Monster or the Gym Pal, you can turn that weight on and off with a remote, with a button, whatever, and you're not at the machine's mercy for when it wants to turn it on. So,
Exactly.
yeah, you can get into your perfect form. You don't have to conform to a machine's idea of perfect form. And like you said, that could be very dangerous. That could be the reason why you develop this problem.
Yeah, especially with tennis elbow, that's a big deal because I don't think I've ever experienced such a long, like outside of my ankle injury, that was such a long recovery process, Joe. It was so frustrating. I tried to go back. I tried to back and forth. I took time off, then I went back, and I just couldn't recover from it. So I was like, all right, I got to go to physical therapy because I am not getting right from this. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
it was definitely frustrating.
Yeah. And something else that's not going to help is the fact that that thing was 80 pounds and you're lugging that thing. I don't know if you have carpet, but if you have carpet, you're lugging that thing across carpet and it's plastic wheels, I'm assuming, on carpet, and that thing ain't moving.
Yeah, it was definitely a little challenging to move around,
Yeah.
especially like you said, you're carrying it on carpet. It's just yeah, it was definitely frustrating.
Yeah. That's I have a Gym Pal as well as a Gym Monster, and the Gym Pal, it is a kind of annoying to move if it's on carpet, but the Gym Pal isn't 80 pounds. If I recall, I think last time I checked, they were advertising it as maybe 50 pounds, but really it's closer to 70. So you got like a something along those lines. You got like a 10-pound difference between that and the Vitruvian. But the Vitruvian is even more hard to use, excuse me, to move because
Mhm.
of how awkward it is. At least the Gym Pal's smaller and you can kind of like pick it up and move it around. Uh, but that
Oh,
Vitruvian was gigantic.
yeah, it was a hoverboard, man. Like that thing, just just lugging it around. Like I don't know, it felt more of an inconvenience than anything. Like not like I said, not that I hate it. I didn't completely hate it. The modes were cool. Like there definitely was some good benefits from it, but like that compared to this, it's to me night and day.
Right.
Like you got something, not only it was a floor model, so you can't do the overhead movements, you can't, I can actually do stand-up flies now. There's just so much more versatility with this machine compared to that. So it's and then on top of that, you figure it's a $3,200. You're paying like $3,200 for that thing, but Vitruvian. And then
Yeah.
this, it doesn't have an overhead thing. Why are you $3,200? Like, come
Right.
on. Like to me, it's just like I understand it has a higher weight cap, but listen, it's it's higher weight than advertised originally because this is magnetic weight. It's not. I think it's truly 250 pounds. It's 220 pound, max cap, but to me, it's 250
Right.
because it feels double the weight because you're not fighting gravity. It's just a different animal.
Yes. Yeah, totally. It's going to treat your body differently. So yeah, you're getting 220 pounds, electronic weight, but it is more than free weights, like you're saying. And with the Vitruvian, I remember when they said, a lot of people they bought the machine, but then they realized, I'm kind of pissed that we don't have any vertical movements. So if I recall correctly, Vitruvian said at one point, "Oh, we're going to come out with an attachment that will basically allow you to do those movements." People waited like over a year for that thing to come out, if I recall correctly, and then they
Yeah.
just said, "All right, we're not doing it."
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
they can put I don't know what happened with that. Like it just completely canceled. Like I remember seeing the commercials for it, like the advertisement like through some YouTubers put some stuff up about it, but it never happened. So it's just very disappointing to tell your customers, "Oh, we're gonna have this," and then just completely debunk it. Like that's just disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. I remember hearing about it and thinking, yeah, when it comes out, that's when I'll believe it because I had a feeling that thing was not coming out. And the sad thing is, bro, I mean, listen, you probably agree with me, but I believe that every single company, they deserve to sell what they want as long as they're transparent and all that stuff. Vitruvian seems to be transparent enough. But I don't like seeing their advertising. I get bombarded by their ads all the time. And honestly, I think it's such an inferior product that I don't know. I feel like the ads are just a bit misleading. They act like it's super easy to move around. You're the coolest guy on earth if you're using this. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like there's full transparency there. And with the Speediance machines, I think they're much more transparent with what you're getting.
Oh yeah, and then not only that, you have a community you can talk to about suggestions. Like, I mean, here's another difference. I couldn't do calf raises on this Vitruvian. I can finally do calf raises on a magnetic device that actually counts them. How
Right.
about that, right? Is that a miracle or what? Is it really that complicated? No, Speediance made it possible. Like, like yes, I'm sorry, I don't mean to knock them, but it's like such an overcomplicate like technology, man. Like technology is getting better and better. You can find a way. Shoulder shrugs, finally, they count shoulder shrugs.
Right.
Like there's so much more. Like you can add eccentric into this, like the custom templates. They listen to the people, and that's what I absolutely love about them. They actually care, and they want to
Right.
see you happy. And now I just ordered the smart handles, so I'm pretty hyped. I'll be getting them soon.
Nice. Yeah, I'm happy to see that they got the smart handles back. Um, yeah, the ring, it's interesting, but I could totally see why some people would not want to use it. But yeah, the fact that they're giving people options, like you said, they seem to care. And guys, I just want to say something. Take a look at Ryan's physique. If you watch the reviews that we've done with him over the past couple years, you're going to see a huge um increase in or a huge upgrade in his physique. His physique has not been downgrading. He's been through injuries. He's been through lots of different issues, work. He's got a family. But this guy's consistent and he's making these gains using not only just the Speedians, of course, multiple machines, but primarily he's been on the Speediance, and that's a testament to what lower weight with a more accessible machine can do to you. A lot of people be like, "Oh, I don't want it. It's only 220 digital pounds." Well, that's what 220 can do for somebody, and he's not done. You know what I mean? He's working at it constantly. So you can make gains with this machine at a lower weight, at a cheaper price, and with less of a footprint.
Yep, and not only that, I just feel like the whole what I really love about it too is like you can do belt squats on this thing. And of course I maxed out the squats,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day I can do more reps. And honestly it's has my legs are still, as you would say, tree trunks. So I'm still working on those trunks. So they're still making gains, man. There's no stopping them. So yeah, man.
Right.
I've even tried to stay this, like we talked about before. I tried to stay the same, but I couldn't help but just want to make progress. It's like I want to just contain my physique and just continue to look great. But it's like I feel myself. It's like, all right, this is light. I guess it's just force of habit. It's like you're so used to just getting stronger and stronger. It's like it gets in your head, and it's like, nah, I got to go up in weight.
Right. Totally. Oh, dude. I mean, that's progressive overload, man. Us as human beings, we want to see progress. Once the progress stops, it makes it hard to want to continue to do what you're doing. And, we're naturally progressive creatures. We want to continue improving. So it's not a surprise that you're just continuing to grow. You're doing your thing, and it comes second nature to you. So, hey, you should just do it, man. I mean, it sucks for you. You probably have to keep buying new clothes.
Yeah, nah, yeah, I mean, pretty much, but it is what it is, man. Honestly, it makes me happy. It just brings a joy to me knowing that, I can still do this and not, of course, I'm being careful and mindful. I got to warm up more. I got to stretch, just be extra careful. More warm up sets, things of that nature, and just make sure that I don't hurt myself because I wear, like I was telling you before, I wear the elbow pads. I don't want to activate that tennis elbow or aggravate it again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's to me that's a big deal. So and I can actually start the weight at a safe point. I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that. But
Yeah.
it's a big thing, Joe. And this truly has been a game changer. And yeah, man, magnetic weight just seems to be, I think my dad's even convinced now, man. I think he finally is.
Wow. What do you think did that? Did he use the machine or?
He just saw me, man. And he was like, because I remember the one day he said he was like, son, you look great. And just like I was like, really? Like I thought you said magnetic resistance couldn't do that, but okay, thank you.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. See, that's it.
Like,
You won him over without a word, bro.
yeah, man. It's one of those things. It's just like you just gotta show them. Like I would never ever doubt my pops, but listen, if I can show him and show him it's possible, he can believe. And hey,
Right.
he believes. So
Right. That's great, man. So if there was if there was somebody out there who was interested in buying a Vitruvian, and again, guys, I just want to throw this out there. We're not getting paid by Speediance to talk about, we're not getting paid by anybody. This is a completely just voluntary interview because we've gotten comments in regards to it. If somebody, like many people come on the channel and they say, "What do you think about Vitruvian?" What would you say to them? Would you say that it's for some people, not for others? Would you say don't even bother with it? It's not worth it? What are your thoughts in regards to that?
I would say just keep in mind, for one, it's a floor model. You're going to be paying more for subscriptions. Keep in mind, free lift mode is going to cost you money. I would say if you're going to use just custom templates and go with that, then okay. And at the end of the day, you're not going to have that vertical movement. So are you really going to be able to optimize your gains and all that stuff? It's just a math. And then you have to figure out, well, it also doesn't have a Bluetooth button. So is that going to be, do you want to take the chance of getting hurt or, things like that? I mean, it does gradually increase it. It's not like totally dangerous, but you're still taking a chance, in my opinion. But hey, everyone feels different. I've had arguments with people about it, trying to tell me that I injured myself because it's my fault. I'm like, okay, I've only been training since I was like, I've been in a gym since I was 10 years old, but okay, it's my fault. Like,
Right.
listen, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I get that. But listen, I know what I'm talking about. And Joe, I'm sure I know what I'm talking about. So, don't
Yeah.
say like if I feel as though something that weight starts from the bottom and gradually increases, I truly think that can cause injury. So,
Right.
I mean, I definitely know that.
Yeah, there's a reason why we don't start a barbell press, like let's say a bench press, at the middle of that rep. You're not strong at that point. So
No,
it just makes sense. Even gym machines at the gym or whatever you buy, you start off at a certain point for a certain reason, and it's for your protection. Because if you start off weight at a wrong point in time, or you lift wrong, it's the same thing as lifting wrong. If you lift wrong, you're going to injure yourself. It sounds like this machine puts you in a place to lift wrong, and you want to be put in the best place possible to lift right. And with all this technology out there, there's zero reason, none. Like there's absolutely no reason to ever start a rep wrong when you have this technology. And if
yeah,
anybody says differently, it's not true.
yeah, no, definitely. And here's the thing: you're also paying. Here's another thing to consider. Yes, it's more weight, but at the end of the day, you're paying more money, almost the same amount for a Vitruvian floor model to almost the same amount, probably even less because they have such great sales. To a Speediance that has an overhead prospect, they keep. You know how many free giveaways this company has? It's ridiculous, and like you can get some of the stuff for free, and they I'm sorry, but like they price gouge the crap out of you on
Yep.
on Vitruvian. There's never any sales. There's never any giveaways. There's never anybody that cares. So why do you want to go with a company that isn't going to treat you right, isn't going to listen to you, isn't good? Like, are you going to be able to message Vitruvian customer service? Oh, can you add this? They're not
Right.
going to care what you say. They're not the Whitney or, they're not the people, people like that. Like, it's just not going to happen. So, it's just that much better for me when I have people who can listen and
Right.
understand that, this is regardless. Okay, maybe they don't always give you what you want, but at the end of the day, the fact that they added in eccentric mode, chains, and all that, and the custom tempo is just by listening to me, that just blew my mind. I remember I told you, I was like, I just couldn't believe they did that. And it just,
Right.
to me, that's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a difference between a company that throws a product out there and wants to make the biggest money possible and stops improving on it because they're already making that money, and a company who throws their product out there, they're not even getting paid to put the content out, and yet they're still improving just off what the customer's feedback is. It's like they're trying to build Speediance seems like they're trying to build their product and their company for success for years to come, whereas the Vitruvian or some other companies seem as if they're just throwing a model out there, putting out a decent product, but now they just want to make that money and they don't care about improving. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, no, I totally agree because it's like, but like I said, Joe, like if what my final verdict, this whole thing comparing Speediance to Vitruvian, just like I said, look at what you're getting with Speediance, figure that out. You get a Bluetooth. Yeah, some people don't like the Bluetooth thing. Guess what? Now you got the handles, so you can optimize the handles. But
Yep.
still, regardless, ring handles, whatever, you have a safe point in time where you can start your weight. Yes, it's
Right.
gradually coming up, but at the end of the day, do you really want to take the chance of weights gradually coming up? Say if like someone screams for you or something happens, you can have all this weight coming crashing down on you. That
Yeah.
is not safe. So if that's what you want, going with Vitruvian, then I just listen. Speediance all day for me. That's how I see it. Speediance, you get more. You can do vertical movements. You can do all that good stuff. Well, with Vitruvian, you just have the floor. You
Right.
know, you have so much more versatility, and it's just so much better because it's just better. Like you get the racks. It's to me, it's just a no brainer.
I agree totally, man. So guys, I really hope that this information, this inside information was able to help you guys make a decision. This was a really deep dive. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comments. I'll make sure to point them out to Ryan. And if you guys need another video on this topic, we'll totally do it. Remember, he's here to just try to help you guys just like I am. And we hope that this content was able to help. So, Ryan, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get back to your busy life. Again, sorry we started off late tonight.
Yeah,
But I
that's cool,
really
man.
thank you, man. I really appreciate your time and your expertise and keep doing what you're doing, man, because with every video we have you on, you just look more and more incredible, bro. Keep doing it.
Oh, for sure, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. All right. Well, you have a great night and we will talk to you soon, bro.
All right, brother.